Ancient cuneiform tablets are historically accurate when it comes to a potential threat to our Earth. Astrologers working for an Assyrian king were closely monitoring the skies about 3,000 years ago, and what they discovered and recorded on cuneiform tablets could give us incredibly valuable information about things like solar flares and other cosmological phenomena that are as relevant today as they were when they were first recorded. According to ancient origins, about 2,700 years ago, astrologers noticed something interesting and recorded it on stone tablets. The astrologers mentioned a strange red glow in the sky. At least 3 ancient cuneiform tablets discovered by a team from the University of Tsukuba point to a strange event that is sometimes described as a red cloud or, as the ancient Assyrian language entry states, red covers the sky. According to Science Daily, these results were compared to carbon-14 concentrations in tree rings from the same period, and the results were astounding. These were likely examples of what we now call stable red arcs of auroras, which are light generated by electrons in oxygen atoms in the atmosphere after they have been charged by powerful magnetic fields. Although auroras are usually associated with northern latitudes, they can be seen much further south during periods of high magnetic activity, such as during a solar mass ejection. Additionally, the Middle East was closer to the geomagnetic pole throughout this period of history due to changes in the Earth's magnetic field over time. It turns out the ancient Assyrians could help modern scientists studying the sun. Solar phenomena are a bigger threat now than they were thousands of years ago, according to researchers writing in the Astrophysical Letters journal. Because of our increasing reliance on technological infrastructure, these space weather events pose a significant threat to modern civilization. Consider this: cell phone towers and internet connections could be damaged by a large solar flare like the one the Assyrians described. We already know how vulnerable satellites and spacecraft are to such events. How long could our modern, interconnected world function without the telecommunications equipment we all rely on? In a way, the Assyrians have a lot to teach us, and this information can help us prepare for future solar events. This is important from a historical perspective, as these cuneiform tablets are believed to be the earliest records of such solar events, and the information dates back at least a century. As a result, the ancient Assyrian astrologers who wrote the books provide another example of how studying the past can help us better understand the present and even predict the future. Astrologers in ancient times did more than just observe the sun and its influence on the earth. Comets, meteors, planetary movements, and other celestial phenomena that could portend good or bad omens for their society were carefully monitored. According to researcher Sarah Roberts, the role of the astrologer was extremely serious and respected. In reading these signals, the priests were most interested in what was happening in the state as a whole, as well as the life of the king as the head of state. They also believed that by performing rituals to appease the gods and neutralize any negative warnings shown by the stars, they could appease the gods. It may seem absurd to say that astrology paved the way for scientific understanding, but in many ways that is exactly what happened with the work of ancient Assyrian astrologers. By the 8th century BCE, Babylonian astronomers had developed an empirical approach to predicting the movements of the planets. Their research was later picked up and expanded upon by the ancient Greeks, and contains some excellent illustrations of how the ancient Babylonians used advanced mathematical techniques. They used calculus, for example, to track Jupiter, a vital planet in their view because of the connection they made between Jupiter and their chief god, Marduk. For millennia, man has wondered about his place in the cosmos, and our fascination with the stars eventually led to a space program that has taken us to parts of our solar system that were previously only fantasy. Our ancestors paved the way for what would come later, and we are indebted to them for taking the time to record what they observed as they looked up at the night sky.